time now for a look at the day's top business news with Brian Quinn. Hi, Brian.
Hey, Karis.
You're starting with an unwelcome distinction for two of China's top tech firms as the US accuses them of working with the Chinese military.
So on Monday, the U.S. Department of Defense added Chinese social media giant Tencent, as well as EV battery leader CATL to the list of companies it says are affiliated with China's armed forces. The move does not mean immediate bans on either firm, but it does add pressure on the U.S. Treasury to introduce sanctions, and it serves as a warning to American companies that do business with them. Antonia Kerrigan has the details.
A designation that doesn't mince words, Chinese military company. That's what the Pentagon is calling CATL, the world's biggest battery manufacturer, and tech giant Tencent too, the maker of Chinese WeChat. Both companies reject the claim, and Tencent said this was clearly a mistake.
We are not a military company or supplier. Unlike sanctions or export controls, this listing has no impact on our business.
It's true that the list has no legal clout, but it's a deterrent to US partners and investors and could lead to sanctions or export controls. The new designation sent shares in both companies tumbling on Tuesday. Both have interests in the US. Ford recently announced plans to build a gigafactory in Michigan, licensing CATL technology for its batteries. Something that worries some lawmakers who have been lobbying for the company's inclusion on the list. While Tencent owns an interest in Epic Games, the makers of popular video game Fortnite. This, as the US fears the Chinese Communist Party's military-civil fusion strategy, instrumentalizing the work of the research and private sectors to advance its military. The Chinese embassy in Washington called the move discriminatory, violating the market competition principles it has always advocated for. The move comes as Washington prepares for Donald Trump's return to the White House, amid fears of trade wars on more than one front.
Well, next, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken is visiting Japan amid a deepening spat over a blocked steel merger.
So Blinken landed in Tokyo on Tuesday for a farewell visit as the Biden administration winds down. Japan is the U.S.'s most important ally in Asia, but relations have been severely strained by Biden's decision last week to block the takeover of struggling American foundry U.S. Steel by its Japanese rival, Nippon Steel. The $14.9 billion merger was rejected by Washington over national security concerns, a blow to both firms, which had been counting on the deal to revive U.S. Steel's waning fortunes and help Nippon Steel hit its production targets. Both companies filed lawsuits on Monday contesting the ban, accusing Biden of illegal interference, saying he meddled in the deal to gain favor with American labor unions. Japan's prime minister, meanwhile, has warned that the decision could harm future Japanese investments in the U.S. The CEO of Nippon Steel says his company will continue pursuing the deal.
President-elect Trump has said he wants to make U.S. manufacturing strong again. His vision is to strengthen manufacturing and provide a prosperous life and a bright future for workers, especially the white working class. Our merger aligns exactly with such a vision. I believe that we will be able to reach an understanding with the new administration.
And Brian, tell us what's happening on the markets today.
So Tencent shares are down around 7.5% in Hong Kong. The Hang Seng overall off by around 1.3% as the U.S. Department of Defense released that latest letter. The CATL shares are meanwhile down around 3%. The Shenzhen Component Index, though, managing to gain around 1%. The Nikkei in Tokyo finishing the day up nearly 2% on the back of a tech rally there, despite Nippon Steel shares losing ground again in the wake of that blocked merger bid. Here in Europe, major indexes opened lower as investors cast a wary eye on Eurozone inflation data. Germany's latest consumer price index coming in hotter than expected at around 2.9%, suggesting that the European Central Bank may still have work to do to get inflation under control in the bloc.
And finally, for business, the first major tech industry event of the year is kicking off in Las Vegas, the Consumer Electronics Show.
Tuesday marks the public opening of 2025 CES after the first couple of media days. Annual convention is among the top consumer events worldwide. It runs through Friday, showcasing the latest products and advancements from wearable tech to transportation. Once again, the star of this year's show, artificial intelligence. Jenny Shin has a sneak peek.
It's the biggest tech show in the world. The CES 2025 is kicking off in Las Vegas on Tuesday. The tech spans across industries like AI, personal tech, and healthcare. And in the domain of transportation, those attending this year will be able to see some driverless cars.
At Zoox, we're building a fleet of robo-taxis, which are self-driving vehicles that can pick you up and drop you off wherever you want to go in a city.
The CES is not only a chance for startups to shine, but also a chance for big companies to showcase their latest innovations. South Korean tech maker LG Electronics says it's bringing what it calls the world's first wireless transparent OLED TV screen to market.
LG's visually lossless wireless technology delivers video and audio quality as if it were connected by a cable, with no latency for the ultimate gaming experience.
Over 4,000 companies will take part on kilometers of exhibit space. And organizers say this year's show will center on the theme of the future of humanity, showcasing solutions to issues like access to food, clean air, clean water and mobility, as well as healthcare technology.
The future of humanity, Karis. It's a bunch of gadgets to me. I don't know.
All right, Brian, thank you for that business update.